Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to talk to you about a way of cooking that many people still think is super healthy. After all, it's plant-based, it doesn't have saturated fat, and a lot of people still believe it's a very healthy, very nutritious option. But that's not quite the case, and I'm going to explain all of this to you. Stay with me until the end because you won't want to miss it. Before we start, I want to ask you, where are you watching from? How old are you? And what type of fat or oil do you use for cooking in your daily life? I would love to see your comment. If you like videos like this, go ahead and leave a like so I know you enjoy this kind of content. And share this video with anyone you think could use more tips on learning how to cook in a healthier way. Let's help spread this chain of good, because that's what I want here on the channel. Many people still think that cooking with vegetable oil is actually a very healthy option, like soybean oil, for example. What kind of oil do you use for cooking in your daily life? Many people think soybean oil is lighter than lard, lighter than butter, but in reality, it's a highly refined oil that goes through chemical processes with solvents, which leave some residues in its structure. In other words, what ends up on your table isn't that natural soybean oil. It's actually a more unstable, industrialized product, isn't it? And there's also the issue of its composition, right? Because the composition of soybean oil contains an excess of omega-6, which is a type of highly inflammatory fat. Soybean oil is extremely rich in linoleic acid, which is a type of omega-6. And our body does need omega-6, but in proportion to omega-3, which is actually a superior oil, anti-inflammatory. I always talk about omega-3 here because it's a really good oil. The problem is that our modern diet today has up to 20 times more omega-6 than omega-3. So the ratio is completely unbalanced. And this excess activates enzymes called cyclooxygenase and lipoxygenase, which produce inflammatory mediators like prostaglandins and leukotrienes. So we have a risk of low-grade chronic inflammation, which increases the risk of arthritis, atherosclerosis, obesity, and even cancer in people who are predisposed. So there's an even greater danger when we heat soybean oil. I'm going to talk about that now for you. Soybean oil has a low smoke point, meaning it oxidizes easily when we heat it, when we fry, when we saute. It releases toxic aldehydes and free radicals that damage cell membranes and DNA. And studies show that aldehydes are linked to diseases such as Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, and even cancer. So besides being inflammatory, it turns into a toxin when we heat it. Many people didn't know this, so it's not an oil recommended for frying. It also has an impact on the liver and metabolism, because we know from recent animal studies that excessive consumption of soybean oil is associated with fat accumulation in the liver, that is, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. We know that nowadays there is a very high prevalence of liver problems even among people who don't consume that much alcohol. Changes in the gut microbiota, increased endotoxins in the blood, greater insulin resistance, favoring type 2 diabetes, even in people who don't consume much sugar or simple carbohydrates. Soybean oil can also affect our brain. A study was conducted at the University of California in 2020. It found that diets high in soybean oil not only increase obesity and diabetes, but can also alter gene expression in our brain, affecting functions related to memory and our mood. So it really is a dangerous issue, especially when we think about our aging, isn't it? And the big issue with soybean oil is that unfortunately it's a cheap oil. So it's mixed into everything basically without us even noticing. In margarine, cookies, cakes, industrial bread, ready-made sauces, snacks, fried foods, restaurant dishes. This makes it harder for us to control the amount of soybean oil we consume. So ideally, you shouldn't have soybean oil at home, because if you're already getting so much soybean oil from products you can't control, why would you buy soybean oil to keep at home? There are other healthier options for cooking. Olive oil is wonderful, of course, it's always an option. Even for cooking, you already know this. Coconut oil can be a less stable option at high temperatures. You can use pork lard. I have an entire video talking more about this. I have a whole video discussing the best oils and fats for cooking. There are also other options, some better and some worse. I have several options there. These are my favorites. I'll leave these supplementary videos for you. I also have videos talking about butter and margarine. There are several suggestions for you, depending on what you prefer or not. There is flaxseed oil, avocado oil, and several others. I'll leave these supplementary videos here for you. Look, I've already made a video about canola oil. I'm also trying to remember because there are so many videos on the channel that it's even hard to keep track, but I've made a lot of videos. And don't forget to look at the playlist I'm leaving below. There's a lot more about this topic. Videos about health tips and recipes. Tell me which oil you use for cooking and if you're going to stop using it or not. If you're going to change or not, I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video, that's really important to me, and share it with someone you think will like it and needs it. Let's spread this chain of good. That's what I want here with the channel. See you next time. Bye.